What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 23 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Miao Ying Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we had a very nice little battle against the servants of the Blood Nagas, who were able to nearly overrun and destroy Miao Ying's main stack, which is a very nice change of pace, and definitely gotta appreciate it. I don't imagine their strength I don't imagine that they have much more left in the tank after all that, however, and the faction will probably be rather shortly destroyed. The way I figure it, Miao Ying is going to continue onward to destroy the Blood Nagas, then head over to the Lost Isles of Elthas, just because I'm curious about what's going on out here, and then she'll slowly start making her way back here, possibly to Nagashazar, and gotta get her into position for her final battle. We're a ways away from that yet, of course, but it's kind of the idea. It's usually why I like to save Nagashazar. Always gives us a nice final. Anyway, for the... Why am I going to victory conditions? We already got those. We may as well start moving. I believe we did pretty much everything in terms of building and stuff. Well, I did that between the episodes, but it's more or less a new turn, so we got to get a move on again. Let's go up here to Cobra's training grounds. I don't imagine there's anything there. Oh, there's a little tiny well, not a half stack. Wait, is Korath Korath's the lord of the faction? Didn't he just die? Did he come back in one turn? What the heck? Huh. Okay, maybe he comes back in a turn, who knows. Obviously this is not worth fighting, but, you know, still, good job. Sorry about that, Korath. And we will occupy the place like so. I said like so. One of the Warband are always a nice pickup, and we don't really need the Nan Gau forge here, much as you do enjoy it, and we'll swap the gem factors out as well. Don't bother collecting the income here yet, and then recollect it afterwards in a little bit. Oh, probably should have had Jusia reinforced, but we'll just move her in afterwards. Alrighty, Administrator, you don't really need to move, at least not... Yeah, you're mostly here for buildings and for transferring units around, but it'll be a little bit until we get the next Bastion attack. So just sit pretty. Same with you, Tanji Chen, Yuan Shanfu, and Jiao Ming, and all of you guys. You're nearly healed up. I gotta say, one more turn. And then we'll just attack Ghorth the Cruel just because we can. We could also try to get them to sally out of Jar Nagrun, though it's usually difficult to get them to do so, as opposed to forcing us to fight, but it's a broken battle, so, you know. Anyway, you guys are good. Administrator Chang, yes, on the way to Yanbo with his army. Still a little bit of a ways to travel, but at least we're rather close to the sea lane, so there is that. And alright, you're where you're supposed to be. And who's up next? Ningwei, you are waiting to attack the Grimgor's Ard boys. Unfortunately, Goldtooth has been doing absolutely nothing to help us in that regard. Jamming, stay here for one more turn while you heal. Man, it's taking him an age to heal. Really need that Gate Master to help out. And, ooh. Huh. Nakari might declare war on us and attack Yanbo. I wouldn't mind, though. Power of Rage, just to power him up. A free Amber Spear, why not? And a Bloody Red Spot, so we got Frenzy now, as well as Regen, so even if they do try to attack us, Yanbo should be able to hold. Although his army is still pretty basic. Let's level him up just in case. Now, in terms of what he's definitely going to have in his army, well... As much as I'd love to get what he's definitely going to have in his army, he should probably have some spells. He's pretty okay with that Shem's Burning Gaze spam, so we might want to actually max it out. Blossom Wind, Net of Amantuck. Let's get maxed out Shem's Burning Gaze. Can he cast it in dragon form or only human form? Nah, it's only human form. Not a big deal. Or at least I hope it's not a big deal. We'll see if the Slaneshi randomly attack us or not. Anyway, Admirals. Muji Peng, you are the first, and these freaking black arcs. I don't know why the AI does this. It constantly builds black arcs with just like one guy in them and then just sort of floats around. It's... it just bothers me. You know what you can do? You can land here. I know you're Admiral and you're supposed to be gathering islands, but you can land here and then go into ambush stance, and we'll see if we can get these guys to actually move closer to Monument to the Moon without knowing that we're, you know, ambushing them. Maybe sink a few of those black arcs so that they don't annoy us. Tianlu, you were waiting for a alchemist. And I believe a master as well, so I guess you could just sit here. It's not like we need you anywhere specific, so you're fine as you are. The other admiral continue moving forward, and you're not healing, which is kind of an issue. And, oh, Grom the Paunch could potentially sail out and attack you. Oh, actually, he definitely can. Oh, wow, you're... no, don't go that way. That's a bad idea. You get mobbed by 3 armies, and you're not a real army, so... Sorry, sir. If we could get an alliance going with the... what about military access? No dice. Alright. We could start sailing Yanbo down here. We'll see how these guys react. Man, we really need you to heal up. I guess we can try... Wait. If you could, would you suffer attrition here? No. Alright, so go here and try to land close to some of the elves. And, okay, not these elves. And, oh, we don't have military access with any of these guys? Useless elves. What about you? -5. Okay, that's not gonna happen. I just want to be able to land on the heal up a little bit. You're kind of close to it, but we're already at war with all of those guys. Ugh. Alright, well, elves are being useless as usual. Can't do too much about that. Better, better people have tried. Let's see. What were you guys? Oh, right, we still have to go after Mizushima. Okay, fair enough. And which administrator are you that you're moving? Oh, right. I forget whether the tax collector is a local province, but you know, just stay there. You're fine. You're an administrator. Anyway, I would like to start moving forward. We need to wipe these Zintians out before they cause any kind of annoyance to us. And then we could probably go by sea and then land to reinforce. Yeah, maybe that's the better way to do it. Go here. It's not like these guys will be able to get a full stack up and running immediately anyway, so you can land and then you can attack. I think there was another lesser army nearby as well, so you can move this way as well. But ideally not to where you'll suffer attrition. I think that's okay. And we'll reform those guys all into, you know, 2 admirals that just go out to sea. Not that we really need them at this point in the game, but, you know, it's the principle of the thing, I guess. Anyway, everybody else, I believe, is good to go unless I'm mistaken, so we're ready to end the turn. Skip, 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 and we did the buildings. We don't care about the outposts, and turn. Alright, that 2 more materials at sea left, but we basically, well, with this 1 materials at sea that we got, we basically completed all of our critical admins, so nothing is going to be too much of an issue anymore. Admin-wise, I mean. We do still have to deal with Grimgor and sort of shore up our buffer state in the Mountains of Morn. But otherwise, we've got pretty solid buffers. A massive ruin buffer up north, and a pretty solid buffer coming in the Mountains of Morn. Also, okay, let's see, Master Mason. Messenger for this guy. Allegiance points gained faction-wide. Ranked up in allied territory. Why haven't we been getting more of these? I would have loved additional allegiance points. Come on, game. Oh, these guys took over Synethanize, eh? We could attack these guys just for fun.
What would you have?
They are currently trading with Leofric's Fellowship, so Leofric won't be happy if we do. We'll see if they have like an army that's worth fighting down here, just for fun to fight some elves. And you, Miao Ying, are going to go to the edge of this territory, and you will attack Salon Nests afterwards. On the other hand, it's not like we really care about taking this entire territory. Do gems do anything for us, like anything good or no? I think it was just money, right? Oh, a little bit of diplomatic relations with all factions. It's not a horrible thing to have, generally speaking, and spamming it in general. Anyway, administrator, just stay here. You're just keep on administrating. Hey, you're good as well. Yuan Shanfu and... oh, right, these guys. Hob home. We've actually got a decent amount of Chaos Dwarfs there. Yeah, alright, that might actually be worth fighting. Oh, and it's a walled settlement as well. Huh. Okay, Zhuzhou, I'm gonna leave you there for a second. Let's figure if anybody else needs to move into attack. Alright, you're good for now. You are probably not able to reach way to Stronghold, are you? Oh, actually you are. Good. Alright, go take that, and is this the last settlement of this faction? Are we finally done with these frickin' Nerglites? And Pyrrhic Victory, oh, it'll destroy the Crowmen. Come on, game, come on. What is this, bonus versus infantry? Do the Crowmen have generally bonus versus infantry? And they do, so we'll give this to the first Crowmen to power up their bonus versus infantry a little bit more. Now it's step to 26. Good for chasing enemies down. Alrighty, and let's see if this is auto-resolvable if we reinforce with these guys. Oh, wait. You can move in regular stance, apparently. Just not in camp stance. Alright, fair enough. Alright, come on. Please don't kill the crowman now. It'll still kill the... Wait. Now it'll kill this... Okay, what if... Okay, wait. What if we do this? Ha! Why? Why? Why is it doing that? Somebody explain this to me. I guess the Jade Lancers will survive more due to the physical resistance, and now the Onyx Crowman won't die, but why would this one die when it had the banner, which made it more powerful and more tanky? I have no idea. Anyway, I just saw it resolve it. Game being silly as usual. Occupy. And victory over Nurgle, Power Stone, and finally Tidal Defilement is destroyed. Beautiful. You two are no longer needed in this army. You will actually go to other armies. You will be needed there, but you will not be needed here. Lanhu, you can hold on to those items for a little bit, and then you can head out to sea. After we abandon Way 2 Stronghold, of course. In fact, let's delete this building while we're at it. Alrighty. Zhuzhou will actually fight, so we'll ignore for now. Logistics. Alright, you guys are gonna return to the Bastion. I figure. Oh, will you die? 10 units left. You know what? I don't trust it. Just keep moving like this. Heal up a little bit. I really don't want that unit to die. You, Ji-Song, will take absolute ages to go in regular stance, so I think we're gonna march stance you at the cost of, you know, taking some damage. It is what it is. Tech Thieves. Thieves, move up. Let's see if we can't get Zatan again. I believe Ji-Song hasn't defeated Zatan, so it might be nice to get the defeat rate on her as well if needed. Alrighty, and I believe, yeah, was Ji-Song actually next, or did I do it out of order again? Every time. Come on, Ruinous. I'd say you're better than this, but you're not. Loot the carcass and auto-resolve. The Jade line gets hurt, but the other lines get less. Why? Why auto-resolve? But I ask again. Anyway, let's take... Well, we don't really need the money. I mean, that's not actually entirely true, but we don't need the money as much as we used to need the money. Alright, Treasury got 6,000. Let's land here, and... Oh, is this another broken landing? Okay, let's go like this. Land, and then we should be able to sail out afterwards with reasonably good HP. Nearly full HP. Perfect. Alright, that was Administrator Cheng. Let's see who else needs to move. Ningwei, you, with our Moon Empress army, go to Bloodpeak. Let's see if we have any enemies worth fighting. This would be... you know what? This is kind of a debut battle for this particular army, and we can't auto-resolve it. Might as well fight it. Do you have any points that need to be applied? You do not. Alright, you have the Serene Cloud Prayer Flag. I'm going to take a look later at what kind of banners this army could use. As in, well, just take a look at banners that we have for spare anyway. But, debut battle for this army. Onyx Crowman and Jade Warrior Crossbows, Jet Lions, Moonbirds, plus a drum. Well, you gotta have a drum, right? Anyway, go.
Dragon's immortal love.
Alrighty, here we go. Just want to mess around with this army a little bit, new army and all that, and we'll see how effective it is. The Jet Lions have 73 melee defense, so hopefully they'll be able to withstand the enemy as the frontliners, despite not having any healing units. And Jade Warrior Crossbows, I mean, technically we were going to, well, at least potentially, swap a couple of these out into, or eventually upgrade them into Celestial Dragon Crossbows, but, well, let's hope that they do just fine. They do have that reload thing after all, so... Anyway, looks like the enemy's gonna march towards us. The Orc boys' shields up will... well, not wither under the fire, but, well, they've still got a fairly decently long way to go. Bizarre now seeing, after Miao Ying's army composition, the crossbows firing without guns firing along with them, but that's alright. Over on the right flank, it looks like some war boys have arrived and we'll head on in, but we'll get stopped by the jet lines. And we have also cast our missile mirrors, plus the wind spell. And I wanted to see a little bit more of that missile mirror because it looks cool. There we go. I don't know how effective it is against the Orc Error boys, but we'll give it a shot. Otherwise, we've moved our crowmen in on the left flank. They're not really in this army to be fighting enemy in melee like they're doing here, but we're gonna do this just for fun. And drop that moon vortex down, drop as many crowmen as we can among the boar boys, the regular boys, and the spider riders all over here. And at the very least, the boar boys are pretty much destroyed, and granted, a lot of our crowmen will take damage, but once again, just because we can, why not? Probably could have sent in the second Moonbird on this flank as well. Otherwise, the main enemy forces not really breached our line of jet lines. They're holding quite well by the looks of it, including the enemy Black Orcs, which are unable to make it through. The enemy range units have been destroyed. Now it's just a matter of taking care of their melee. Though I do wonder how well the lines, or how well our crossbows can fire when the lines block their shots. I guess we'll see. Another Moon Vortex comes down. Right in the middle of a unit of Biggins there, and the balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor. The Lord Ningwei is dueling the enemy Black Orc Big Boss, and Ningwei also has the Spirit Leech available to her. Hence the damage on the enemy Lord before he even managed to close the distance. Alrighty, and shortly it looks like the enemy Lord will be defeated. As in, we're going to remove his feet, just because we can. Anyway, the bounce power is at about 90% in our favor. Ooh, one of the units of crowmen is separated from the others while fighting the spider riders and took quite a bit of damage, dropping down to about a quarter of its HP. Fortunately, more crowmen are on the way. Once again, continuing to fight. Not super necessarily, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And it looks like the heavily damaged crowmen are melting away a little bit, but it shouldn't matter over much, as they will hopefully recover, as in not their HP, but their leadership, considering the fact that the enemy army is just about done. Finally, a few of the enemy Biggins have managed to make it towards the Jade Warrior crossbows. But we've got 115 armor on these guys under Bastion of the Great Cities, and even with 38 melee defense, it's solid enough to deal. Anyway, with that, the enemy army shatters, and the Moon Empress's army carries the day. Nice. Alright, there we go. Fun little fight. Our main line got a little bit, well, actually our main line is more or less fine. Our crowmen got a little bit damaged, especially this one unit, but they're extremely fragile, and I kind of threw them into combat kind of on the flanks just for fun. I'm quite impressed by how the jet lines were able to tank the damage there, says they certainly took a lot of hits and all kept all their units, and that's without any healing unit, construct healing unit in the particular army. Anyway, we'll occupy the place, not that we really want it or care for it, and we'll trade it to the ogres in a bit. Jade Longma for Ningwei. Yeah, maybe you can... yeah, maybe you can use that. I'll think about it. Oh, it's going to take 8 years to heal the crowmen now. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown them into the battle after all. Oh well, not a big deal. We just got to get this army a healer. I guess we'll have to replace an army after our unit after all. You're on the way. Oh wait, you were the teacher. I was going to give you to Jiao Ming because he also needs the heals. Granted, you are not high enough level to offer the actual casualty replenishment rate, but well, it is what it is. Anyway, and Shao, right, you are going to besiege Kirik Vrag, rather. We've got a pretty solid garrison, plus, ooh, lots and lots of black orcs. Nice. Alright, you can besiege this, and who knows, maybe they even have another army around and might actually attempt to attack this stack. I guess the scholar isn't going to go here. Go out here. None of these territories matter since we're looking to trade them away anyway.
Grand Cathay.
And we're starting to draw close to Astrogoth. Not that we really intend to go all the way up here to deal with him, because frankly, he's not really a threat, at least not to us. Kislev doesn't seem to be having a great time with him, but at the same time, he hasn't advanced too far northward or anything like that, so, alrighty. Who else do we have? Okay, wait, Jiaming, we're gonna take a look at you in a bit. Let's see, Yan Bo. Looks like Nakari decided not to attack you, or his faction decided not to attack you. See, Kaigast Kilgore is nearby. I guess we can't sail down through this area unless we meet both armies together, and alright, fine. You are gonna travel in non-march stance. I guess, Yanbo, you're gonna start moving back the way you came, and just pick up your... I wonder who's got the sort of cane here. Oh, it is Nakari. Huh. Alright, well, maybe he'll try to attack us here, who knows. Distinct possibility. I'm pretty sure he could reach us here, and frankly, I probably shouldn't have moved in full speed like that, but it is what it is. Anyway, you're going to... Ooh, the Black Arcs, didn't that worked? Yeah, I was going to say, let's kill the Black Arcs first. We'll go back here, and that's where our Admiral Yanbo's army will arrive, and we want to go after them after all. I guess they'll beside each other, or will you not reinforce? Okay, fine. Go here. I think Black Arc won. I forget, are Black Arcs immortal? Do they just come back next turn once they're sunk, or are they actually sunk for good? I gotta pay attention to these guys' names. Oh, guy was... something. Alright, you don't need the glittering scales. You could go after this Black Arc, but frankly, it will most likely run too far, but we'll give it a shot. Watch Mazda Mundi, then declare war and sail out. And we're sinking all these Black Arcs for him, too. I mean, not directly for him. Hey, we can actually reach this one. Alright, that's 3 Black Arcs gone for no reason. Enemies being a little silly, admittedly. But that's the AI for you. Another water snake breeder, that's fine. And yeah, okay, just stay in normal stance, get back to Monument of the Moon. You remain, well, your job is still to Admiral around, as you do. You guys, are you able to reach this place yet? No, alright, so it'll take probably one more turn. So you guys just sort of hang around, stay near to each other. It will mean these guys will unfortunately be able to... maybe I should have attacked with you instead, and then... well, too late now. Alright, that's fine. Not really gonna make much of a difference anyway. Tianlu, you... You know what? I think we should start traveling this way, maybe towards Trudge Craventail. And go to Scrap Towers. We can sort of transfer or get you your Alchemist and your other guy later. For now, you can still fight without them. You do need the caster, don't get me wrong. But, I wonder if we can get an Alchemist coming in here. Or here? Oh, we can. Not as high a level as the Alchemist that's on the way, but maybe that's not such a horrible thing. You have Frenzy, doesn't really matter for this particular army. Golden Sight, I do like the Winds of Magic cost reduction for Gehenna's Golden Hounds, but this is the base version, and it's kind of meh. I guess we're just gonna go for Spirit Blessing. Can't go wrong with Recovery, I guess. Alright, then you can enter this army rather than the other Alchemist, which was on the way. We'll divert somewhere else. Alrighty. Now this way we can get this army into some fighting. You guys are fine where you are for now, you and Zhao Ming, and we'll probably attack Ghorth the Cruel, but this has to be prioritized. These guys need to be destroyed. Alright, so we're going to hit Hob home. We could give them a chance to sally out as well. Ghorth Azrael. Is that this guy? Yes. Alright, we'll give them a chance to sally out, so just besiege this, who knows, they might give it a shot. If they don't, then we'll fight it. Otherwise, I believe we are good to go, yes? As into the next turn. Well, you know what, there are 2 things we want to do. First of all, we want to build buildings. Maybe we should just attack Ghorth the Cruel. We're mostly here to fight him just for fun, but, you know, that'll still be fun. You can go to Mooring Tower, and that means you are now tier 5, meaning your buildings are complete, and we can put you into Harmony then. Alright, Harmony, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Meaning we need 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, that makes this building useless, but I figure that the plus 3% tariffs is probably more valuable than the plus, what? Income 150, income 200, so the base gold generation difference is 50. With the current bonuses, we get a little bit more. A little bit over 100 bonus gold. It would be a lot easier if we could calculate exactly how much 1% tariffs gives us, but, you know, I'm too lazy to do it right now, so I'm just going to assume that this is the correct way to do it. And, yeah, that's it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus, at least this way we get income both from building income and tariff income, and it's a little bit more even. Alrighty, let's build you up. 2 more turns, right? Materials at sea, yeah. But we basically have no admin anymore, so it's easy now. Alrighty, and you, and you. No need to think, just upgrade everything. Like so, and then Gashkadrak, we are going to get rid of you anyway. Bone Road, we are going to get rid of you. Way too stronghold, we are... way too strong hold. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Oh, that one got me. Alrighty, let's build the goods emporiums and whatever it is that we need here, tea parlors, etc. And I think that's it for the provinces that we're keeping, so we don't need to upgrade anything else. Alrighty, let's fight the Ghorth the Cruel. And we still have 43,000 gold remaining. Alright, Veil of Woe. Been a little bit... Oh, Grimgor's still here. I thought he would have run away, but apparently not. Well, he might immediately attack us after. Well, more power to him. Alright, let's move on in, let's level up, and then let's fight. You only have a barely level up, you only have the 1 point. We probably want to max out Dragon's Breath just because you can actually use it while in dragon form, which makes it pretty darn useful. Not that having Glittering Robe available to us isn't super useful as well. Freaking, okay, fine, get the Glittering Robe. Granted, your alchemists can also cast it, so there is that. Speaking of the alchemist, final transmutation, transmutation of lead, and you are missing a bunch of stuff. Max out Gehenna's Golden Hounds, and metal shifting as priorities. Alrighty, you two, I assume we'll need levels, but probably not super critically right now. So, let's fight this. Pyrrhic Victory, we got some decent stuff there. Infernal Guard with Fire Glaives, and yeah, basically 2 stacks. This should be a solid fight, and they'll be fire resistant against our fire rain rockets, which means they should have a pretty decent time against us. Good for them.
The iron wind surrounds us, protects us, strengthens us. We are unbreakable!
Well, we'll see about that. I certainly hope so, as we are facing off against 2 stacks, and I do imagine this should be a decently difficult fight for us. It is Ghorth the Cruel leading the enemy, and he's got a fair few Chaos Dwarfs, including elite Chaos Dwarfs, and with him lots of Infernal Guard and Fire Glaives, to be specific. The general difficulty of this battle is going to be the fact that our own army is largely predicated on dishing out a lot of damage with the Fire Rain rockets, which is why we have so many of them in this army, and unfortunately, well, they're Fire Rain rockets, and the enemy just has obnoxious amounts of fire resistance on them, so we won't be able to rely on them to do a lot of damage to the enemy, and well, on top of that, the enemy also has heavy armor, at least on its elite troops, so we'll see how that works out. Anyway, we're going to speed this up a little bit as we position ourselves. The reinforcements have arrived and are moving in together, and we do have quite a bit of air force available to us. We do have the one longbow riding dragon-blooded Shogungan. We have 3 Celestial Lions, and of course Jiao Ming himself. Who did I say Yuan Bo again? Jiao Ming, not now. I mean earlier. Jiao Ming himself is in dragon form as well. He only has 10,000 HP. It's actually not that crazy of an amount. I mean, if Kugath has like 20 or 22k or something like that. Granted, it is Kugat, but nonetheless. Anyway, yeah, we have a bit of an air force, and we're going to move forward and get a nice Dragon's Breath, a basic non-overcaster unit of Hobgob archers, which get destroyed. We just got to reduce their numbers a little bit, but it's mainly the enemy Hell Cannon that we want to head towards and silence, in addition to going after the enemy's own air force. The Bale Taurus up in the sky, and then the 2 Demon Smith Sorcerers, including Ghorth the Cruel. Anyway, looks like the Bale Taurus will try to deal with Zhao Ming as he is attacking the cannon. Well, I like the color scheme on this particular faction as well. Anyway, while the Longma Riders surround both of these Sorcerer Prophets and get ready to knock them down, or Sorcerer Prophet and Demon Smith, rather. Alright, and that should be a lot of damage delivered very quickly. Ghorth the Cruel rapidly loses 80% of his HP, surrounded by Longma Riders as he is, and falls from the sky. Huh, apparently with, Oh, okay, that was Ghorth. I thought one of the Longma Riders fell as well. Ooh, and it looks like the Demon Smith Sorcerer is not quite out of getting a Searing Doom down upon our flyers. Kind of a neat use of it, in fact. But will collapse just like Ghorth the Cruel did. And there we go. There go the enemy casters. We have air superiority, and so we certainly wanted to make use of it. Also going to get a nice charge into the enemy Hobgob Wolf Raiders, who rout with like 90% of their HP. And getting terrified by the Celestial Lion's roar. And Zhao Ming is still working on that Hell Cannon, but by the looks of it, he's actually destroyed the cannon itself and is now just annoying the enemy crew and the Bale Taurus. And it looks like the rest of the enemy army has finally started to move in. I mean, they have little recourse with no siege available, and its casters both dead. We do still have to be careful about the enemy Fire Glaives. Fire Glaives are very solid in melee, and they're anti-large in melee as well. And then if we back off, we gotta watch out for those lasers dishing out lots of damage. Not that the arrows aren't dishing it out as well, as Zhao Ming has dropped below half HP, and I think it might be time to back the heck up. We just wanted to wait until we knocked out that Bale Taurus to completely reduce the enemy's ability to fire. We're gonna rush out of here. We're gonna pop the missile mirror upgraded on the enemy Fire Glaives. Kind of a useless spell on the Fire Glaives, who, due to their own fire resistance, won't be able to really do any damage to themselves. Although the laser is moving forward and then pewing right back at them is pretty neat. Alright, and it looks like the rest of the enemy army is finally moving in, and even though we probably won't be able to do much damage to the enemy Infernal Guard, at the very least, there are plenty of Orc Laborers in this stack, and Gobos and whatnot, who we can hopefully hit with all of our Fire Rain rockets. And, well, you gotta love Fire Rain rockets. They're super effective. I know I didn't use them a lot throughout this campaign, but I find that with both Empire and with Cathay, the thing is, these things are too good at what they do. And they tend to trivialize a lot of battles, especially as the AI is quite bad at dealing with them. And I'd like to avoid, you know, overusing them. But this one army with them is sufficient, plus it makes sense for Zhao Ming to be using them. And on top of that, since he's fighting Chaos Dwarves, who are significantly resistant to fire, the fire rockets will once again be nowhere near as effective. The Ogres wait amongst the Jade Warriors and Celestial Dragon Warriors, waiting for the enemy to move on in. Of course, the units of Man-Eaters with Ogre Pistols will fire over the heads of the waiting Jade Warriors. I do like the combination of units, though I do wish that there was that we could get ogres with an Eastern theme, because, I don't know, I feel like they don't quite match the battle line here. At least not as much as I'd like. All good, though. There might have been a mod with it. Or was that and I don't just mean the Eshin Man-Eater, but anyway. Which isn't a mod, but, you know what I mean. Might have been a Nippon mod, unless I'm mistaken, but anyway, for the 50th time. The enemy has arrived on the right flank with some of the Kadai Fireborn, who we have countercharged with one of our units of Celestial Dragon Warriors, specifically the Doom Dragons, and one of the units of Iron Guts. The enemy will join us with more infantry and more monstrous units, as some Bull Centaur Renders have arrived to help out. The main enemy stack continues to advance, and we continue to fire upon them with our Fire Rain rockets, though now that most of the basic laborers have been cleared out, we're not doing crazy amounts of damage to the Infernal Guard, although getting them down to half HP before they close the distance ain't too bad. If they didn't have the fire resistance, they would have absolutely been destroyed with that many units of fire rain rockets. Anyway, it looks like an enemy Bull Centaur Torok has moved on in, and Yuan Shanfu is in the fight, and will bring said enemy Torok down. In the meantime, let's see what we got going on here. The enemy Infernal Fire Glaives are definitely the big threat on the field. All 4 of our Fire Rain rockets are trying to focus one of them down and just gotta reduce their numbers and stop them firing away, and we got 4 more to take care of after that. Even if the Fire Rain rockets aren't doing too much damage to them due to their fire resistance and armor, it must be incredibly annoying to be constantly knocked about by, like this, by all the rockets. Plus, we got some cool shots of this. Heck of an artillery barrage, if nothing else. Anyway, 1 unit of fire rain rockets, or one unit of fire glaives down, and it's time to focus the rest. Jiao Ming has landed with one of his celestial lions and turned back into human form here to cast a little bit more. And also so that the anti-large of the fire glaives doesn't apply to him. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I take it the dragon children shed their mass when they transform. Yeah, so 1500 mass. I was interested to see whether whether they would be in mortal form but retain the same amount of mass as they would when they're in dragon form. But apparently they don't. Well, that's magic for you, I guess, or magic shape-shifting. Anyway, the battle is nearly ours. The bounce power is at about 90% in our favor, though Jiao Ming and, just generally speaking, the single entities have suffered a little bit of damage. Our main army is pretty much unharmed. Even though the enemy did manage to reach our main line, under fire from all those fire rain rockets, our main line with the ogres and the melee units held perfectly well. And it looks like with that, the last unit of infernal fire glaives shattering Ghorth the Cruel's army is done. There we go. As we can see, minimal amounts of damage on most of our units, and I expect that the damage that is there on our main line is damage that will mostly heal up. Whew, alright. Fun fight. We'll see if we can't get the same kind of deal going against Zharna Grund itself, though we'll see if Grimgor wants a piece afterwards. Alright, there we go. Jiao Ming did take a little bit more damage than I would have liked. The regeneration alone was not enough. Oh, right, I was gonna remove the death Singer and give him something else. We can't give him a healing potion because he uses the burning vambraces. Does restore his HP once when he is in dragon form and loses a lot of HP. Okay, gotta remember that it only works in dragon form because it's enabled to flying unit. Alright, fair enough. I think I turned him back to mortal form a little bit too early that time, but it's not like we took a massive amount of damage on anybody but him. A little bit of damage to the lines, but at least the units are preserved. Just the nature of fighting fire with fire, I suppose, is all that massive fire resistance on the enemy was getting in our way a little bit. Anyway, Scroll Leeching, Water Snake Breeder, Spell Shield, good, enemy killed in battle, etc. Otherwise, I believe you guys, well, you're more or less stuck. I do wonder if Grimgor has another army nearby that would enable him to besiege Jiao Ming and then have his other army attack these guys. Oh, I guess we can leave the settlement anyway. Alright, can you guys move forward at all? You cannot. We need them all to be in range of each other. You know, just to be safe. Leave the settlement. There's not enough chaos corruption here to cause you any trouble anyway, so I'd rather not risk them being destroyed, the little follower armies, I mean. Anyway, with that, folks, we're out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. I was wondering whether we should fight this. Oh, they... Alright, we're going to give them a chance to sally out. I was going to say maybe we should fight this between the episodes. Oh, wait. It's not a broken siege, is it? No, I don't think so. So we can actually fight this as a siege if the enemy doesn't sally out. So we'll see what happens there next turn. This is, I guess, the final form of this army, finally together. We are still looking to level these guys up to level 12 and power up the Jade Warriors a little bit more and try to get them to rank 7. It has been taking a long time to, it feels, get them sufficient amounts of veterancy, but veterancy is a lot slower in SFO than in vanilla, as far as I know, so that does make sense. Especially especially considering how this army's been fighting for a long time. Anyway, yeah. Next time, we probably wipe out the followers of the servants of the Blood Nagas and follow to the Lost Isles of Elthas and maybe strike at Grimgor and Jarnagrund. Definitely these guys would sally out, though once again we'd have to deal with the massive fire resistance that they have, and we are fire adjacent in Jamang's army. We'll see how that all goes next time. Stay tuned, don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.